Hello guys, welcome back to the crew calling all units, a bit of dirt, a bit of Need for Speed, so a bit of all. My thoughts on some games that just being released or upcoming games, that's sorta what we're gonna do in this video. Uh, because yeah, all people get hyped and stuff like that happens, and I get that, all that. Some of these newer games look great and all that. Oh, that's the wrong one. So we have, let's start with Dirt 4, released on June the 9th, if I'm not mistaken. And yeah, been looking at some footage. I didn't get the game, and the reason for that I will explain. But I have Dirt 3, I have Dirt Rally, and yeah, I sort of have Dirt 4 in a way then as well, because you can choose between gamer and simulation, and gamer, then you're sort of going to end up with the Dirt 3 aspect of it, and if you choose simulation, you're gonna sort of end up with the Dirt Rally aspect of it. That's sort of what it is. A rally in Dirt 3, which is more arcade, if you could, which means you can tap the walls and stuff like that, and you will still be able to get going. And that is sort of, if you put in Dirt 4, if you put it on gamer mode, yeah, that's sort of the mode that you're in then. You're sort of in the Dirt 3 mode. And the new feature of Dirt 4 is like the generated stages. But well, I think they missed the ball there. I saw some footages, and it basically, well, it sort of generates a new stage every time, so in a way it's every time a new stage, but not exactly. Because it's like you have certain sections, certain corners, and they keep coming back. Time after time you see the certain same, like you're driving and you think, well, I've been here before, apparently. Sort of like a deja vu you have there, and yeah, that is sort of what it is. Because you have like one time you generate a stage, and then you will get, let's say, a sharp right corner in the beginning of the stage, and then that same corner will come back somewhere in the middle of the stage, and then at the end of the stage. And then you finish that run, and then you generate a new stage, and then you will have that same corner coming somewhere in the middle of the stage, and then somewhere towards the end of the stage, but it's the same corner every time. So you're not really doing new tracks. And of course, yeah, probably due to licensing, but you're also limited in content rally-wise. And that is the same for Dirt Rally, sorta. Yeah, we're stuck with 6 races there because the other licenses were with WRC. And yeah, that's a bit of a problem. So in Dirt Rally we were stuck with Finland, Germany, Sweden, Wales, Greece, and what was the other one? Yeah, we had 6 rallies there, and they never added another one because yeah, they didn't have the license for it. Now they lost Finland, so in Dirt 4 you're dealing with Sweden, Wales. They also lost Monte Carlo, so you sort of have Spain now replacing Monte Carlo, I guess, with the tarmac rally. And we are down to 5 locations now. And probably the rest of the licensing will be with WRC again, so I don't expect any new rallies coming to the game. They do have all the licensing with the FIA Rallycross, so I'm assuming they're gonna focus more on that. There are already, compared to Dirt Rally, more Rallycross events in Dirt 4, so I'm assuming they're going to get a bit more into that. I tapped the wall there, not a big problem in Dirt 3. That's what this footage is from Dirt 3. I've done a run there earlier. Just to give my thoughts while seeing at some footage. So this is more the arcade style, so if you have Dirt 4 and you choose for the gamer style, then you're gonna get this kind of rallying about. That's sort of what it is. In Dirt Rally, that is more like, yeah, if you choose the simulation side, that makes it all a bit harder. Also in Dirt 4, it makes it a bit harder.
80, crest, turn square left, don't cut. 200,
Less room for mistakes, so you have to in Dirt 3 and also in Dirt 4 gamer style, if you hit a rock or something, yeah, you slow down a bit and then you can just keep on driving without too much of a fuss. If you hit a rock here in Dirt Rally pretty hard, most likely you're gonna hear your co-driver say, "Is that a flat tire?" And that is something you do not want to hear, because that means that at the end of the stage you're probably gonna end up on your rim.
Keep right.
So it's more like yeah, the real thing.
Caution right 5 long. Immediate turn square left, don't cut.
Can't go full throttle here all over the place, because otherwise you, yeah,
80.
gonna end up pretty bad.
Past junction. 300.
This is Germany, also that one they lost apparently, because it's not in Dirt 4 either. This is Tarmac Rally, so I'm guessing they replaced it with Spain now. What else did we have here in Dirt Rally was like Greece, also that apparently they lost, which was like a gravel rally, and they kind of replaced it with Australia now. Wales, they still got Wales, sort of the same in Dirt 4, but yeah. The main reason I don't have it is because I have Dirt 3, so I have the rally style there, the gamer style. Also you can do like these gymkhana smash things and stuff like that. I also have some footage of that for later on. And yeah, so I can all do that in Dirt 3, so there's no reason for me to get Dirt 4 then. Simulation style, I have Dirt Rally, so don't really need Dirt 4 for that either. So the only new feature they have is the generated stage, and as I said before, yeah, it's deja vu stages. It's like parts of the stage that's returning all the time, and that was sort of the same in Dirt Rally, I guess. In that way, if you did a full rally in Dirt Rally, it was 12 stages, but they were also not new. So what you see here is Germany stage, one of the 2 long ones, and that is based, every of these rallies was based on 2 long stages. So we're in the first part now, and if you did a full rally, then you did it like this. 1 long stage, and then you did that same stage going in reverse. That makes it already 2 stages, and there was another long stage as well. Also going up and down, that's already 4 stages. And then they cut like this long stage. You see here split number 4. They cut it in half, and then you also did that going up and down. So also there, those 2 long stages were cut in 2 new short stages, and you did them up and down. That's already 4, and that's how you ended up with like 12 stages. But it was based around 2 long stages, and that's sort of what the new generated stage thing does in Dirt 4 as well. It's the same sections, the same corners that come back, and yeah. The difference with Dirt Rally was that for new stage, well, it was short stages and then a long stage, and now they just take these short stages and they put them behind each other, which makes it a new long stage, but not really. And that is the reason why I don't gonna get Dirt 4. The main feature of the game, the generated stages, is not working in my opinion, so simulation I can do in Dirt 4, in Dirt Rally, and the arcade, more arcadey gamer style, as it's called now in Dirt 4, that I can do in Dirt 3.
Caution braking through depth, turn square right narrows. 80.
So when it's 55 euros for
Caution right 6
for a
continues
combination
over
of Dirt
crest.
3 and Dirt Rally, while I have
Braking
both those
through
games.
bumper turn open
So I
hairpin
just
right,
saved
don't
the
cut.
55
80.
euros for something
Turn
else.
square right open, stitch outside. 200 through dip.
Pretty clean stage this time. I am playing with a keyboard here, so Dirt Rally is a pretty hard
And
game for a
crest,
keyboard.
turn hairpin right, don't cut.
Get the full experience, you at least need a controller or gamepad, but preferably a wheel.
Into left 5
But
long,
even with a
don't
keyboard
cut.
you can play it, as you can see.
Turn left 1, don't
Not
cut.
too many mistakes, although towards the
80.
end,
Left 5 long.
I outbrake myself a few times, but
Right 6 long, don't cut. Ditch inside, 80 past junction. Keep left. Into turn right 3, don't cut.
here I lock up.
80. Turn square right, tight, don't
I
cut.
do manage to get the car sideways so I don't go fully on the rocks, which
Into
also
left
means
5
that
opens 100.
my tires are not really touched at this moment. Otherwise I would have been on the rims for
100
sure.
through dip.
That's more the simulation style.
Caution turn square left, don't cut. Keep left over crest. Immediate turn hairpin right, don't cut, 100. Get a turn left 5, don't cut, be brave. Into right 6. And caution turn right 1, don't cut. Left 4. Into turn hairpin left.
Also
don't cut.
setting wise,
60 crest.
it's a bit of a difference.
Into turn square right, don't cut.
Dirt 3 in the gamer style,
And keep left over crest. Turn square left, don't cut.
you sort of have like
100.
low, high right and high and a bit soft suspension or a bit stiffer, that's it. In Dirt Rally on the other hand, you have like advanced settings where you can mess about with the height, not just lower and higher, you can put it on the exact number that you want it to be and stuff like that. So that's for Dirt 3, Dirt Rally, Dirt 4 and all that for the rally wise, and then you have these smash things where you can do, but you also have in Dirt 3 you can do these smash things. I have a run here. Location wise, Dirt 4 you have, like I said, you have Australia now and such, so you also have like new compounds where you can do these kind of things, but other than that it's the same style of. You have to hit these, in this case the white things, can also be like orange or yellow things, and you have to stay away from the blue things because that kind of gives you some minus points. And I missed one there. Got them all eventually, just on time though. That's also in Dirt 4 you can do that kind of thing in the Dirt Academy or something like that. But yeah, in my opinion they missed the ball on Dirt 4 with that generated stage thing, because it puts the same corners and the same sections of a track. They put it behind, and in the theory it's a new stage, but not really. You get the deja vu all the time, and other than that the graphics and all that's great, but yeah, I mean, I'm not like one of those graphic purists. As long as the game runs, it's fine by me. As long as I don't have to play at 10 or 15 FPS. If I can play it at 60 FPS, then it's fine by me. And however it looks, I'm not that much interested in as long as I can drive and race. And which brings us to game number 2, upcoming in November 10th. For about 60 euros or dollars, you can get the standard version of Need for Speed Payback. And then that's November 10. If you want early access to it, then you need to get the deluxe version, and that's like 80 euros. And then you can have access 3 days earlier. You get some sort of personalized license plate. You get like some NOS which has like a different color than the normal ones. You can put it on 5 cars, and you get like a certain car pack which already suggests they're gonna bring car packs later on as DLC, so the bill is only gonna get bigger and higher. And that for a Need for Speed title, yeah. Need for Speed, Forza, I'm not a fan of it for the simple reason those are short-term games. Next year or the year after that, they're gonna come up with a new title, and then the game that is supposed to be new is gonna die out. It's pretty simple. It's sort of the same with the Crew, but the Crew is a big difference. That's like 4 or 5 year period. That's already more interesting. I'm more in these long-term games where you can from start to finish the whole game. It's the same with Forza Horizon 3. Every 2 years there's Forza Horizon, so as presumably somewhere September, October 2018 there will be Forza Horizon 4 and Forza Horizon 3 will die out. I have some footage here for the Need for Speed Most Wanted, and the reason I brought up that game is because I've looked at some footage from Need for Speed Payback as well as for the Crew 2. And yeah, I was looking at the cars driving there. I'm driving a Porsche here. That is also something that will come to the Crew. It's no longer rough, but it's Porsche now. But other than that, yeah, quite a few similarities in my opinion. Handling of these cars in both of the games. You see some footage of people, oh, it's the best handling ever, I heard someone say out there. But yeah, the guy is like sponsored and owned, and he gives like it's more and more you see these biased reviews, because they can't criticize it all a bit too much, because then they are not allowed to post the videos. That's sort of how it goes in this business. But yeah, I don't have a problem with that, because I'm not sponsored by any of these companies, nor do I need to be, because I'm not really a YouTuber. I just play games and I put some footage out there for those interested. That's sort of what I did. Started playing the Crew and I thought, oh, I'll make some videos. And yeah, in 1 year time I got myself like 700 subscribers doing so. So apparently here and there I'm doing something wrong, right, and maybe also wrong, but you will never hear me in any of my videos ask, or in my opinion, what they are doing is begging for subscribes and likes and all that. No, I don't do that because I'm not interested in that. I just post the videos because I'm playing the games anyway. So for Need for Speed Payback, it seems to be the trailer looked like some sort of Fast and Furious movie trailer or something. That's what it kind of looked like. But there were already a few things. Yeah, there was like a truck which was transporting something, and you had to chase it. You're doing 160, 170 kilometers an hour, and the truck is getting away. That's already something I think, okay. How can a truck get away and doesn't spin or doesn't roll over or something like that? Then you have this kind of situations. No crash camera. Nope. You just jump through a container. Oh, it's not a problem. You can start driving again. Yeah, I saw someone, but in both games, Need for Speed Payback as well in the Crew 2, they have like, yeah, put the damage thing a little bit down, which means it's way more arcade than it was before. And especially in the Crew 2, I do not find that a good thing. Flying around, jumping over rooftops and stuff like that, yeah, all possible in Need for Speed. Will also be possible in the Crew 2 apparently. And that is again not a good thing in my opinion. Let's wait and see. But from what I see so far, Need for Speed 2015 was not a success. Well, Need for Speed Payback, some people are hyped again, but no. Also there I am going to pass. For a short-term gain, 60 euros. But yeah, if I buy a game, then I want to have everything in the game. So that means if I will buy it, then it's definitely not going to be the standard version. Then I would buy the deluxe version, but that's already 80 euros just to start. And then they're probably going to end up bringing out a few more DLCs, and that's all fine. if the game would run for like 4 or 5 years, maybe even more online, that's all fine. Then it's worth it if the footage or the content is okay, and if it's updated regularly, that's all fine. But for a short-term game, 80 euros just to start with, without any DLCs, that's already... Yeah. It's also the reason why I did not buy Forza, because 2-year title, what the hell. No nitro here, so probably not gonna make this jump here. Oh, never mind. We make it anyway. No crash cam, it's all possible. I know it's arcade, but yeah, some of these games are a bit too arcade. Was the case in 2012. At least you should have some damage, like lose your bumper or something, and then you can keep on driving, which should make the car a little bit more unstable, something like that. Then I'm fine with it. I don't need crash cam activation, that's no need for nothing, but it is what it is. Aston Martin, now switching into that, will definitely be in the Crew 2, because the Aston Martin Vulcan will be there. Which brings us, well, I'm sort of going between Payback and the Crew 2 now, because yeah, it all looks a bit similar to me. Need for Speed will have a smaller map for sure. I saw some footage from the Las Vegas area, desert area, so probably will be around there. And I saw some footage from Los Angeles. It's going to be the main city, I believe. So it's parts of the states. The Crew 2, on the other hand, has complete the states like we have it in the Crew 1. We'll have some footage of that later on. So map-wise, the Crew 2 for sure. On the other hand, yeah, this is gonna be deja vu. I know they retuned it all a little bit, and trees look differently, buildings look differently, which also gives a general different feeling. Crash into a container, not a problem. No crash cam if you hit the brakes. If you don't hit the brakes, then you might activate the crash cam, but if you hit the brakes, you can just keep on driving. Other than that, we're jumping all over the place. That also seems to be in the new Need for Speed, and also in the Crew 2. Jumping, driving over rooftops, all kind of stuff. So I'm not so sure about it. Sounds pretty good in Most Wanted 2012. And yeah, that seems to be fine in the new games. Both Need for Speed Payback and the Crew 2 have seem to have like improved sounds from what I saw so far. Of course, those are all trailers and some gameplay from E3 by some people who got access to it. Also there, yeah, yeah, not gonna go into it because yeah. Yeah, people got it in invitation to go to E3, and there was the so-called star players, and even in the Crew 2, some of them I have on my friends list. They haven't been online in that game for like 4 or 5 months. But that's how it goes. They won once or twice. They won something in the past, and then they invite those people because they have them somewhere in their database. And although those people are not playing for the last half year or so. Drifting by tapping the brake here in this game. I also saw some footage from the Need for Speed Payback. Yeah, it all looked a bit similar. The Crew 2, same story. It all looked a bit similar. So I'm not so sure. Some people didn't like the handling in the Crew 1, but if I look at the handling in the Crew 2, then I think I prefer the one in the Crew 1 though. Now this all might sound a little bit negative, but I will tell you now, also there, new improved graphics and all that, it's always wait and see if I can run it. But if not, yeah, then I have to make some choices. But if I can run it, then I will probably, out of the 3 games that I sort of go by in this video, Dirt 4, it's already out, I'm not getting it, the reason I just explained. Need for Speed Payback, I'm gonna pass, because I don't see I played the demo of Need for Speed 2015, which was a good thing. I waited on the demo to see if I could run it, which I could. Had no issue with it running it, but that demo also gave me more than enough footage to decide not to buy it, and I don't see much difference with the 2015. They say they have improved handling. From the footage that I saw, I kinda doubt it. And they will have some sort of story, which like Fast and the Furious style, but the small map and yeah. So it was a choice for me between Need for Speed and yeah, they kinda lost me already a couple of titles ago, and the Crew 2, and so I'm gonna end up with the Crew 2. So out of the three that I saw the covering in this game, also not Need for Speed Payback this time will be in my list. At least not in the beginning. Maybe I buy it later when it's already 3 or 4 years old or something, just to see what it's all about, but no. Not hyped about it at all, and from the footage I saw, the handling, the driving, which is sort of the thing that interests me competition wise, will be fine, because it's more into racing than anything else. Probably, so I'm fine with that. But the handling of the cars, no, don't really like it. The story, not so sure about it either, so I'm skipping the Need for Speed. So I will probably, if I can run the game, I will probably end up with the Crew 2. You can sign up for the beta there. Already done videos about that, but now you can also see, this is the Crew 1. You can also see it here, beta phase available. And you can unlock rewards. The third one is up now. Unlock the boss award, progress to level 50 to win a Maserati Gran Turismo in the Crew 2. That's sort of what you do. You have all these awards in the Crew 1, and you can find them on your driver idea in the awards section. And by doing so, you can unlock vehicles in the Crew 2. And that sounds all fine and great, but yeah, that's already making me wonder, why do they do that? So you go to that game, and if you play the Crew 1, and like for instance this facelift, customize every visual part of a single vehicle, that was the first one we had to do, but most of these things, I had a list of 15 rewards, I already posted it, but meanwhile got some sort of like, yeah, ivory tower on my back telling me that should shut up about it because it's not sure yet. Well, basically it's leaked again. Once more, it's leaked. Some sort of pictures are leaked, and so I got the full list of the rewards, and I also got like the bonus rewards, which sort of gives confirmation that Honda will come to the Crew 2, and that's all not known yet, or we're not supposed to know yet. And yeah, then you get ivory tower on your back. Yeah, that's what you get. With the trailer of the Crew 2, I had Ubisoft on my back because also there, not my mistake, their mistake also, because someone out there leaked the trailer 1 or 2 days in advance, and which means I already knew there were gonna be planes and boats and stuff like that, because that's what will be in the Crew 2. That also means that in the Crew 1 here, where you see footage of, there are certain areas that are closed that will all be open now, because we are dealing with planes, which means we can land the plane wherever we want to, and the reason of that is, yeah, if you switch to a car, because you can switch between boat, car and plane whenever you want to, also there, not a fan of it. You're flying a few hundred meters in the air, and you can change to a car, and it drops down a few hundred meters into the city, and you just keep on driving, like it's nothing happened, but you just fell out of the sky for like a few hundred meters, which is like ridiculous. Some might like it, probably some kids, but other than that, yeah. Also here, I know it's kinda arcade, but I mean, keep it a little bit realistic, will you? But apparently some people are hyped about that feature, that you can drop from the sky, so I already see it happening. Some kids flying plane, you're driving in the game in your car, and then suddenly you have planes falling on your head because these kids cannot keep the plane up in the air or something like that. Or they change to a car and you have like cars falling out of the air on you. That's but we'll see. So there are like 4 headquarters from what I make of it. there will be, but it's not like now. We have a garage here now in the Crew 1, sort of an underground garage, headquarters in 5 different cities, and that will no longer be the case. We also have a Summit Square in this, and that's sort of more like Summit Square Pro Street, if you played Need for Speed Pro Street, sort of that will be like the headquarters. So some sort of big square where people come together, and there you can mess about with your cars. Maybe it is even possible that over time you can meet other people, and maybe you can even swap performance parts or something like that. Who knows? There are a few possibilities. I'm driving a bike here meanwhile at the and that is also yeah, I'm not sure if there are going to be bikes in Need for Speed Payback. I don't think so. There will be in the Crew 2 some racing bikes for the one of the headquarters is pro racing, because that's sort of how it. Now we have specs. We have street, dirt, performance, rate, circuit spec, and we have a few extreme specs: the drag, the drift, and the monster. And yeah, we will see. But now in the Crew 2 that will no longer be the case, or maybe it will be, but it will be a little bit differently in that way, that you cannot drive with this bike in the water. We will be able to do that because we have boats now in the Crew 2, so that will be fine. For the headquarters you have 4: street, pro racing, off-road, and freeride. The street will probably be based, if you compare it with the Crew 1, on street and performance spec, all about cars. The pro racing will probably be the circuit racing, because they are gonna bring more circuits. They have built. There are like we have here Sebring, Laguna Seca. They are already in the game. Golden Hills, I think, is also in this game, and they are building new circuits now as well. So for the pro racing, where you can drive like old Indy or Formula 1 cars, probably Indies, and it's American. And then you have like all the circuit specs that we have in the game now, would also probably end up doing circuit racing or something. Also, they're not really a fan of it. I mean, okay, I'm don't have a problem with circuit racing, but there are other games out there where you can drive on the Nordschleife and on Spa-Francorchamps and Monza and all those famous tracks. Here it's all a bit downscaled, and yeah, what can you do? A few laps on that track and that's it. So I'm probably not gonna spend too much time in that pro racing headquarters and all the events and missions that come with it. Street racing, yeah, that's the sort of probably where I'm gonna spend the most time. Customize the cars and play around with it. The off-road, I'm driving a buggy here now. That will probably be available in off-road headquarters, and there are all kinds of events and missions about, I'm assuming. And then you have the free ride. That will be about the extremers stuff. Yeah, I saw Ford Focus RS Rallycross, so maybe we're gonna do some Rallycross. I saw an event called Motocross Championships, so I'm guessing we're gonna do some motocross with the dirt bikes. That all will be possible. What else? Yeah, the free ride is the boats and the planes and the monster specs and stuff like that. So that's like the Ford headquarters we have. Now, for instance, here we have like a garage thing or a parking lot. It's completely blocked. There are some poles here, so you can't go in there. That will probably, if it's still there in the Crew 2, it will be open, because that's what they did. Seeing you can land with your plane all over the place, and you change to a car there, you need to be able to get out of there. So they had to open everything up. That means parking lots, parking garages, stuff like that. It's all open. And other than that, we are dealing with the USA map. So I took a look at different footages from E3, from YouTubers that got some gameplay out of it, different channels. I think I checked like 15-20 different channels, and then I sort of put together my thoughts and well, yeah, if I'm gonna buy it or not on these 3 games. So Dirt 4, no, I got Dirt 3 for the gamers part, I got Dirt Rally for the simulation part, and I don't see any need to get Dirt 4, because in my opinion, Dirt 4 is a combination of Dirt 3 and Dirt Rally. So I got those both games. No need. Need for Speed Payback? I don't know. Not immediately gonna buy it, that's for sure. Might have a look what's going on once the game is running, and what are the features in there? Is there competition in there? Is there how is the map situated? Is it a small map? Is it big map? Things like that. Those are kind of things that matter for me. And but at this moment, I don't think I'm gonna buy it. The Crew 2, that was my third option. So seeing I'm not gonna buy the other two, I'm gonna end up with the Crew 2. If I can run the game, that's always a question. I built my PC in 2015, running an i5 with the GTX 960. Should be able to run the game, but can I get it like with some decent settings and 60 FPS? We will see. Definitely not gonna upgrade immediately to run a second version of a game that I already have, sorta. Also in the Crew, yeah, I'm not completely 100% positive about it yet, because the planes, that's definitely gonna be a fun factor to play around with. The boats, also definitely a fun factor to play around with. But that's already the problem. It seems to me that I saw an interview, they're talking about a story, if they were asking some questions about stories, and they always answered the same thing. Yeah, you can create your own story if you do not want to do anything. You can also progress and level up just by driving around. So, well, if you read between the lines, they're probably not gonna have a story. That's what it sort of makes. You sort of have to make your own story. So they don't gonna have a storyline, no story missions probably, and yeah, or maybe a few small ones like they did with like this calling all units expansion for the Crew 1, which completely missed the ball. It was bugged as hell. It didn't work. It didn't. Well, yeah. Compared to Wildrun, which was probably one of the better expansions in a game ever, calling all units was just crap. Pretty simple. But we'll see. I saw in the trailer of the Crew 2 also some police, so it will be there somehow. I'm not sure if we can be the police ourselves this time, but I think it would all be a bit too much. We can be the police and we can fly planes and we can drive around with or sail around with boats and stuff like that. What's gonna happen? You drive around in free drive, you are chased by police, and you have planes falling on your head, and that's sort of that can all be fun, and that's that seems to be the key factor. I'm more of a competitive player, and don't get me wrong, I like fun, but at times I want to do a time attack or something like that, or a competition in some sort. And it seems to me that from what I know so far, and which is quite a lot already, and more than is out there in the footage already, it's all gonna based about fun. And fun is fine, but there are also some competitive players around. I'm definitely not the only one, and they need a bit more competition than driving around a few laps on a circuit in the pro racing headquarters. And of course there will be some multiplayer sort of PvP style, I'm guessing, but yeah. Hopefully they come up regularly with new tracks. You have the whole of the USA, that was already a problem in the Crew 1. You have like certain tracks, and they never, it's still, even today, it's still the same tracks as were they on day 1. Then you have like a certain competition league, your personal league, like in this case I have league number 2 here in the police, but I'm Platinum 1 in the Racer League, but it is all based on, you have these monster arenas, crown things, stuff, that's all fun factors but nothing to do with competition, but yeah, you can lose points in your league of it, so I hope they separate it this time, that they have like a fun lobby for the kids or whoever likes it and wants to do crown and blitz and all that kind of crap. Competitive players do not like that, they want to race and nothing else than race. So I hope they make separate leagues, stores, stuff like that, so that you can separate the competitive players with the recreational players, let's call it that. Those who just want to have fun and drift around, there was some sort of, I saw footage of some sort of drift event, so I'm assuming there will be like drift cars, or you can set up your car to do drifts and stuff like that. I also saw on some of the maps some monster arenas. So the monster arenas are still there, so they are probably gonna somehow get that into a competition, maybe together with the motocross and maybe rallycross. We will see. Track cars, I don't know. The long jumps were seen on the map by someone, so they are still there, which are kind of suggest there will be track cars as well in the Crew 2, but we will see. But to put a long video shorter, or to put a long story short, let's put it that way, I'm not getting Dirt 4 for reasons I explained in this video. I'm not getting Need for Speed Payback because, yeah, doesn't seem that much different with Need for Speed 2015, which completely missed the ball in my opinion. So, no, not jumping back to Need for Speed, who already lost me a couple of titles ago, and it's still the case. So I'm probably gonna end up with the Crew 2. So I'm kind of waiting on the beta to see what it's all about, to see if it runs pretty okay on the PC and stuff like that. And if it does, then I will get that one early 2018, and probably gonna pre-order it for once, which is something I normally do not do, but yeah, just want to be there on day one if it's available. That will be it for this video, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye for now.